the problem with a big canvas in general is trying to understand the whole composition and trying to understand the acute parts of the composition. So the larger your canvas gets, the more problematic it is to take in the whole of what you're trying to create and have that always constantly in mind whilst you work on acute aspects, because it's just a wider surface to try and comprehend. So from that perspective, that's been the main issue. And so the draw out phase of something like this has been very kind of handled very acutely, more acutely than a smaller canvas. Yeah, because as you learn about subjects within a composition, you begin to learn the indicating factors that will help you create the piece with colour. So the underdrawing doesn't just reflect the form of what's going on. The underdrawing tells me, it's like a mapping device. It tells me not just where form is, it tells me where shadows are, perspective, how that's affected. But so it's not just, and also reflections and things like that. So it's not just sort of the outline of an animal, for example. So the more you get to understand the composition, the more help you give yourself, or the more things you can see that will help you later on. So if you do enough drawing at this stage, it makes your work, following work with the colour, quicker. And I've learnt that over years of applying it, the shortcuts you can make that are very limited when you're trying to do something that's so technical. There are shortcuts you can take in the very beginning that just help the process, hard as it is later, a little bit easier. Because basically on anything you do with motion, although you have to give the illusion of fluid motion, it starts with understanding how the substance within the composition moves, and to do that you have to figure out the relationship of the substance between the form, because everything has an interrelationship. So therefore, if you don't know how to accurately compose something, you haven't got hope in hell of doing something that is so complex from an emotional perspective. So this level of accuracy won't be so apparent when you take in the whole, when it's finished, but in order to have that whole illusion, you have to be accurate. But yeah, you're not only drawing, for example, finding out the end of a tail, or the end of a guy's arm, or where his foot lands. You're not only thinking about that, you're drawing the form, the colour markers, the shadow markers, every little piece that gives 3 dimension to an object you're interested in. So by the time the accuracy of the composition's finished, it looks a little alien, because somebody's normal person would look at it and go, well, there's too much information other than just the balls or the whatever, you know. But for me, it's not the skill in what I do is not just about what people think they see. There's a lot more, it's a lot deeper than that.